to simple things. Hi everyone, welcome back to
Hi
Simple
everyone,
Things.
welcome back to Simple Things.
Since fam, welcome back to another weekly Wednesday live stream. Thanks for showing up. I know my schedule has been inconsistent lately, but you understand what's going on. So we're not back to regular programming yet. So I thank you all for your love and support. As I say, thank you for being there for me, even when I couldn't be there for myself. Thank you all for coming in. I said Bible quiz in the house. Thanks for coming. How are you doing? Kay, how are you doing, Kay? God bless you. Glow Fam in the building. Thank you so much for coming in, Glow Fam. How are you all doing? Thanks so much, Bible quiz. India, how are you, my dear? Great. I see some great vlogs coming from over there from the Baltimore Harbor. Anna, how you doing, Anna? Love, and respect, Anna. Thank you so much for coming. I see Overton. How you doing, son? What's going on over there? What's the weather like? Thanks so much for coming. Good evening, Mama Simple. Thank you so much for coming in, guys, and everyone who might be in the background. Thank you for coming in. Share if you can. We have a very interesting and informative topic to discuss today. I know it's very sensitive, all right, but it is one that affects me deeply. And if Maka joke me, I have to talk. When Maka joke you, squeal. When Maka joke you, don't walk around with it, you seek attention for it. So I know it must affect a lot of people. So I hope you can share with someone if anybody has any expert knowledge on the topic. You can also invite them to come over time. God bless you, my dear. God bless you so much, Overton, for that amazing super chat. God bless you always. And I pray that your store basket will never be empty. And may God continue to supply all your needs according to his riches and glory. Thank you so much, everyone, for supporting my channel, my outreach. You can see my video from week before last. For some reason, YT pushed it out and it went viral. So I'm happy. So more people can see that in a real life, Simple Things Outreach Media is doing real things on the ground. On the ground. And it's because of supporters like you, my Storm fam, my subscribers, members, super chatters, super stickers, and my sponsors. So if you've been in the background and you have not yet subscribed, step up, come forward, and be a part of this amazing family as we continue to empower others and to enhance the kingdom of God through the word as well. All right. So the spiritual needs are fulfilled, are being fulfilled, and we also have to focus on the physical needs as well. All right. So thank you so much. It's beautiful over here. Oh, that's nice to hear. Kay said, Mommy Simple, I'm good so far. Hope you're okay. Yes, I'm okay so far. Kay, thank you for that. Bible quiz say, Hey Overton, I was at your house last night. I took good care of it while you were sleeping. I like that one Bible quiz. And Overton, you'd love to visit Bible quiz's house. I mean, he has some great things going on over there. So thank you so much for that super chat. Remember, guys, super chat is active at any time you want to bless this channel. We're doing outreach in real life. We've completed a few so far. You can go back and see my recent uploads, right? Education. I don't have to, I'm not blowing my own horn because it's not from my pocket, it's from the generosity of everyone like yourself. So at my old school, tablets and two scholarships. The youth initiative, where I'm still working on that. It has been launched, but we're trying to get the goalposts and the football. So someone promised me one. I begged because I don't mind begging, especially if it helps others, especially the youth or people who can really help themselves. So the football and the goalposts. Hopefully, those are coming up soon. We still need contributions. If you'd like to come on board, you can DM me on Instagram, and also the evangelistic outreach. That one is in collaboration with my mom because that has been her wish ever since she migrated to get to do some outreach in her community. So that one has been launched 2 weeks ago. So those are what we're working on. And, you know, when those get up and running, then we can focus elsewhere. So I thank you all for that. So share with a friend if you can. We're going to go into the topic very soon. It's not going to be a long day because I don't have internet. Last week, Friday, sorry if you were looking out for the worship live stream, I had no data. The data run out as well, so I couldn't go live. So reach out if you'd like to on IG. You can DM me if you'd like to come on board on any of those projects. And for those who have made promises, I know you'll honor your promises, and God bless you in advance. All right, so you can reach out to me on IG if you'd like. So welcome, welcome one and all. Thank you so much for that. The link, I had dropped the link earlier. You can, okay, the link that is pinned, that is my latest upload. You can go and take a look at that. And I think I'm gonna pin the link for the live stream, for the StreamYard as well, so that if anyone would like to be a part of the discussion later on, you can feel free to do so. So I'm gonna replace the pin link just in case the data runs low or something. Let me see if I can still find. No, actually, all right. I'm going to drop that later on. All right. So thank you so much for coming in. A very sensitive topic, I might say, and it might not be very interesting to a lot of people. You know, with Mommy Simple, it can be fun and jokes every day. The things that affect us, that affect our communities, are the things that I like to focus on the most because we can have more fun and jokes in a real life when our communities are safe, when the well being and the welfare of our young people are taken care of. How are you, Tia Mac? It's been a while. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So I believe in empowering others. I believe in uplifting communities. I believe in uplifting families because it all trickles down to the individual. All right. And we can have more fun and jokes when we're all safe and our welfare is taken care of, as I said before. So thank you all for coming in. All right. I haven't seen you in a while, Tia Mac. I hope everything is okay. Thank you again, Overton. Remember, guys, Super Chat is active. Just click that little dollar sign in the chat and get ready with your card if you'd like to make any donations to this channel at any time. Or if not, the link to my PayPal is in the description of this video. All right. So you can also donate through PayPal. Thank you so much. Okay, so it's not good because of data. I don't have internet. I don't. Whenever I go live, recently I'm not able to go for too long. All right, so bring everyone in, and we'll get started up. Not so much. Oh, wow. What's your brother in real life, Tiamak? I know you do a lot of collabs together, and you get along so well. Was he your blood brother? Oh, my dear. And I didn't even get to hear when the funeral was, but that was so sad. The Friday night, he was on my live stream. And he came in as usually always say, He always say blessing my sister, something like that. But he always call me my sister in Christ. I think he always say blessing my sister in Christ. And I was like, where have you been, Bullseye? I was in your house looking for you, catching up on your videos because I didn't see you uploading in a while. That was the last I saw him on YT. And then a few days after Kishon, little Kishon, Kishon Empire, I was on, I think, Trev Live. And Kishon type and said, Miss Simple, you heard what happened with Bullseye. And I reached out to someone and find out. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear. Saturday 11th. Okay, okay. I'm so sorry to hear, my dear. Yeah, he always called me my sister in Christ. And Tiama, it's so not funny, but we just use that as cliche. That he always, if I come on any live, whether his live or anybody live, and Bullseye is there. Whatever they're talking about, regardless, he always say, Mama Simple here. Mommy Simple is here, man. Make we stop talk about that now. Or something like that. You always have so much respect, and because I respect him so much because of that. So much. I'm so sorry to hear. My condolences to you and the entire family. I was around, and I'm so sorry that it's so hard to reach to Portland from where I was staying. So because of that, I didn't get to come pay my last respects. But from the heart, the Storm fam, we pray that you'll find healing, you'll find peace, you'll find comfort, and more than all, we pray that we'll see our dear brother again once more on the other side. Thank you so much for coming. All right, it was, yeah, okay. He was active in the church. He was a drummer. Oh, that's nice. That's so nice. My condolences. That's from K Glow Fam, Global United Outreach Limited on IG. So take condolences on their behalf. Yes, it's very respectful. He knows time and place, and that's what I respect about him. Donovan. Oh, Francis Donovan. Welcome, welcome, my schoolmate. No love and respect. Thank you for being here, Donovan. Thanks so much. Thank you, Donovan from Tiamat. I remember the collab you did with him and mix master. I didn't know he was your brother. Thank you so much for coming, my dear. So, guys, we're gonna go into the topic. Let's give Tiamak and Bullseye entire family. We have lost so many YouTubers since the start of the year. It's officially done. um, Bullseye and Tuffy from Tuffy and Tash, who was gone down last month. And so many YouTubers have lost family and loved ones. Thank you so much for coming in, guys. Share if you can. As I said, this is a very sensitive topic. But Mommy Simple. It affects me a whole lot. It affects my family, it affects my community, it affects the island at large. And as I said, if Maka juke me I go talk. You understand? Me I go walk around with the Maka. I have to try to take it out. So let's hope we can come to some sort of solution so that we can all work together and our communities can be better off because of dialogue. So share with a friend if you can. We're gonna get into the discussion and let's go right into it and see what solutions we can come up with. All right. Thank you so much.
Simple things, outreach media. Simple things, outreach media. Simple things, simple things, simple things. Get your daily dose, fill your cup up to the brim until it overflows. Blessings of God and simple things. Morning worship when you rise. Enrich your lifestyle. Hear words of wisdom. Experience God's love. Only on simple things. Outreach media. Simple things. Outreach media. Simple things. Simple things. Simple things. And remember to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell and experience simple things. Outreach Media.
Okay, so I'm gonna share just a quick news item with you as we go into the discussion. So let me just share the screen right here and take a quick look at this news item from TVJ News. And I think this was a little while back, but it's still relevant today. Let me enlarge this here. Okay. All right, that's good.
In this report. From roads to housing, the country has seen a major construction boom in recent times, and so the demand for material like sand is high, which takes us to this spot in Fort Charles, St. Elizabeth, a sand pit which has been mined for years. From our checks, it is a legal area for sand mining, but there are concerns about overuse. So deep the miners have dug that we observed uprooted trees, lots of them. Martel Bryan is a resident of the area.
Minus 20. That's 60 feet below sea level, you know.
He's been tracking the depth of what he describes as the destruction of the sand bed. In addition to the use of his GPS, he's also been speaking to the persons loading the trucks. Mr. Bryan spoke of a recent conversation.
He tells me that he's giving no direction as to where to mine. He just giving the green light to mine anywhere.
Mr. Bryan argues that communities close to where the mining has been taking place are at risk of being wiped out in the event of a tsunami. That's because, according to him, the natural barrier has been compromised. In fact, in the distance, you can hear very clearly the waves crashing on the seashore. The erosion there is also glaring.
Parity, Slipe, Vineyard, Arlington, surrounding areas, Hilltop, will be washed away.
We brought the issue to the attention of the mayor of Black River, Derek Sangster.
The sand is being used mainly for construction purposes island-wide because, as I understand it, trucks from all over come to purchase sand from the mine. And it's also used on road works, which, from time to time, laying of pipes, if sand is used and so on. But it is all taking place within legal framework.
So what of concerns about overmining?
I'm going to have a look at it, and if it needs be, calling the relevant authorities to have a look and assess the situation.
When we contacted the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, we were also told that a site visit is being organized for the area.
Okay. So what do we make of that? That is a fairly old, well, fairly recent, I'd say, news item from 2 years ago, February 2020. But the issue is still relevant today. Over the weekend, I went down to country, as we'd say, and we took a tour of Upper Clarendon. Some of these areas I've never been to before. I've been as far north as Trout Hall. If we have anybody here from that area, I've never been beyond Trout Hall. I've never been to Frankfield. And what we have in Clarendon, I think Clarendon must have maybe the most bridges and the most rivers, as far as I can remember, in the island. Correct me if I'm wrong. And if you're from overseas, don't click off, because this topic is relevant to not just Jamaica, but to a lot of countries. All right. So we have the Rio Minno, which is the longest river in Clarendon, in the island, from what I know from school days, I think 44 miles long. And we have quite a number of tributaries crisscrossing. All right. Now the roads are made alongside the river. In Jamaica, that's how we do it. I don't know in other countries, in other islands. That's how we do it traditionally from slavery days. All right, because that was the easiest way. They needed water for the plantations, the sugar plantations. So the plantations were normally on the lowline area near to rivers, and the great houses were normally on the hill where you could sort of overlook. Some of them were built like a fort with a watchtower sort of thing that you could overlook. All right. And the rivers, the heavier rivers, the wider and stronger rivers, were used as to convey, to transport the sugar, the wet sugar and the stuff in what they used to call hoghead. You know those barrels? I think they still use store rum in those type of barrels today, right? For some of the rivers, that's what they used to do. So they would roll them down the river to the points. I would suppose to the waterfront, the beach side, where the ships would come in to take them to England and elsewhere. So the river was very, very important then. And the roads normally run, I know definitely where I'm from. And for those of you who are in the mountainous areas of Jamaica, your roads generally follow the river. And then people live on either side of the river banks. So in a parish like that with so many rivers, when we have sand mining, there is a plethora of problems. There a whole bag of problem with sand mining can cause. Now, whether legal or not is not my concern. That is not my business. I don't own no quarry. Nobody from me never own no quarry. But I was surprised to see how many signs along the river banks. We went when on our return we went into like Morgan's Pass. It's the first I'm going that side. That is north, like northeast, I think. And when I say beautiful communities, nice houses, farming communities, and that sort of thing. But when you look at the river bed in some of these areas, there's no sand, there's no water, there's no river, right? And these are nice communities. And what will happen? When I was surprised to see how many signs, quarry signs. How did we get to this point where we have granted so many permits to people to have sand mining quarries, to do sand mining as business? Let me just check the chat and then let's go in. Oh my God, right, Kay? Juba in the house. Juba, I'm not going to be satisfied until I get my prayer. Okay, blessings to each and every one in the house, and may the good Lord bless and keep you safe today. So it go, right, Juba? I think this is dangerous for people living in the surrounding communities. Exactly, India, for a whole bag of reasons, a lot of different reasons, and we're gonna look at that a bit today. All right, and this is serious, says India. Wow, you better believe it. Wow, I took some pictures. Some of them didn't come out too clear, and I got some of the internet that I am gonna share in a bit. Thank you so much, Juba. Okay, all right. No, we're talking, Juba. No, we're on good speaking terms. Let me see if I was right. Blessing to each and everyone in the house, and I pray the good Lord keep everyone's exactly just like that. Amen, Juba. Tall man, how are you doing, tall man, son? Welcome, 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 welcome. So we're here, tall, and it's calling to you, India. So we're here discussing this very sensitive topic, all right? And my intention is not to mash anybody's corn. My intention is to start dialogue. Okay, so when you see, there are some areas, I was talking to a gentleman from my area a few weeks ago, and he was saying, because below my area, there is sand mining as well. As I said, whether legal or not, I don't know. I don't care. That is not the point of the discussion. And he was saying, I remember 1 year tied into that as well. The river was cut off for miles. And this is Rio Mino, as I said, the longest and one of the biggest river in the islands. And it's not just Rio Mino, it's Rio Grande, it's Yellows River, it's Hope River, it's so many rivers, it's Treasure Beach, even a beach side. All right. And he was saying sometimes when the river gets cut off, like all the sand, they dig away all the sand from the river bed until the river gets completely cut off. And they just wait until the next rainy season, until when the rain fall and wash down more sand from further up. Now I'm telling you, I went way north, pretty close to the river, just miles away from we call it Riverhead, right? And the situation up there is worse. I see some precipice along the roadside. I see some houses that if God just go, those houses will just fall right back into the river. Right? The video that I just showed from TVJ News, you saw the gentleman said 60 feet below sea level. That's Treasure Beach. Treasure Beach is in St. Elizabeth. All right. And that is sand mining from the seaside itself. I wouldn't suppose that's from the river because I don't think Black River. Black River, I think empties out into the sea at Black River Town. This is Treasure Beach, which is further south. 60 feet. And if you're listening in the background, or you might listen to this in the future, the height of a building is normally 8. The ceiling height is normally 8 feet. So, and a building is generally 10 feet high. So that's like a 6-story building. In Jamaica, that's a high rise. The tallest building in Jamaica is 10-story high because of because of hurricane standards. You can go higher than 10 stories. All right. So think of a 6-story building. That's like some of the hotels or some of the places downtown Kingston or in New Kingston, right? And that's how deep below sea level we're digging out our water tables. And yes, we need the sand, we need the aggregate for construction, right? You know, as the news clip said, roads, bridges, and houses. When I went down country over my side, every day you see the big trucks with sand and steel and blocks, and man, the community is building up. So you know that the construction material is in high demand. Plus the highway and stuff. I don't know where the highway, I don't know where the aggregate comes from, so I can't really speak on that. All right. So I know that it is in high demand, but at the expense of what? When they have flooding in a place like Clarendon, for instance, when all the rain comes down from all the water comes down from up north, sometimes there's no rain in their area where the river empties out into the sea. But if there's rain up north and the river comes down, by the time it gets to there, it widens so much because the riverbed is now so wide and so deep that the communities along those areas are flooded out. So flooding is the number one thing, the number one result, the number one repercussion from sand mining, right? Flooding. That is the number one thing. And a lot of communities are along riverbanks, not just where I'm from, but in other parishes. Tallman is calling to you. Juba, let me just take the chat in there. Samantha is saying hi to Tallman. Thank you so much, guys. Hi, Samantha from Tallman. Okay, bless up yourself too. Oh, Tallman, yes. Amen, Juba from K. I know, right? Okay. I love to hear that prayer, right? So, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. And thanks again, Overton. Blessings for the super chat. Remember, guys, super chat is active if you'd like to bless my channel. We have many outreach programs going on. You can just hop over and see my recent videos, uploads, and my live stream week before last, which was an update as to what we do over here with what God blesses us with on this channel because of the generosity of you, my Stomp fam, my subscribers, my members, super chatters, super stickers, and sponsors and donors. Okay, so if you have not yet subscribed, just come forward and become a part of this awesome family. A blessing awaits you. Right. So flooding is the number one thing. As I said, I have a few pictures I'm going to share with you shortly that you can have a look at. If you've never really stopped to look at it, maybe you're from an area where you don't even really have rivers and you don't really travel along rivers, along the roadway where there are bridges and rivers much. So it might not seem like much to you. More recently, we see flooding in places like Montego Bay, and they'll tell you the construction, right? The housing constructions, the highways and the roadways, St. Anne, places like those. We're in St. James in Montego Bay, especially. You used to hear of flooding a few years ago. Think of it. All right. So flooding is the number one thing. Another repercussion, another result, negative result of sand mining, in addition to flooding. When we destroy the water table, like over my way now, we still don't have pipe water. In my little area where I'm from originally, it's still rainwater, river water, or those who are lucky enough to afford their tanks. And they're all hardworking farmers and that sort of thing. Hardworking farmers, people who have their jobs, who work out, business people, children going to school, no idlers. We don't have nobody in our community who sit down and rub out them and middle and who waste time and who beg. We don't promote that sort of thing. Hardworking people. So we depend on the water and we don't have NWC water. All right. It stopped miles up and then it started again miles down. Okay. So the river is the number one source of, of water for irrigation and for domestic purposes. All right. That's what people used to cook and bathe, or we bathe in the river. It's also for pleasure because we have like further down we have river bash. People come from all over with them big sets and this, that, and they keep river bash. So it's also for leisure. So when you mine out the sand along the river bed, where people can get water from for the cows and the goats and the cooking and the bathing, where they gonna get the little pleasure from? Sometimes you want to go to the river and for months the river is all dried up, not because of nature, not because of act of God, but because of how they have mined out the river way up in the north and even further down. So true, India said. And Samantha says, I was in St. Mary in May by the river, and every minute I see a truck coming there to load up with sand. Yes, in St. Mary, there's a lot of sand mining as well, in St. Thomas as well. Right, that is it. So, so that is a concern all over, and not just in Jamaica, as I said, it's a concern in many other countries as well. Have we stopped to think about it? We might think it's okay now, and yes, we own our quarries, whether legal or illegal. I say I don't care. That is not what I'm discussing. That's enough of my business. That part of it will affect me, right? And we're making all this money because of all the road construction, housing construction, and whatever. We need sand, we make blocks, we sell the aggregates, truckloads and truckloads of sand, as my friend said right here, or whatever. You understand? But have you stopped to think of, if this world should last another 100 years, will there still be Rio Mino? Will there still be Alice River? Will there still be, when you look on the Maple Bridge, for example, 30 odd years ago when I was in high school, yes, I'm that old and I'm proud of my age. I'm still young at heart, right? And when you see that river so deep, so wide on the Maple Bridge, and now when you look on the Maple Bridge, only when rain fall, like it has been raining for a few days in April when I was over there. So I know that the river come down, as we'd say. But generally, when there's not much rain, when it's not rainy season, it's dry. And not just dry, it's not sand, it's just silt and dirt because of the mud that washes down from the embankments on either side. The riverbed is gone. There is no riverbed. All right. So, as I said, I've already highlighted flooding, right? The loss of water for domestic purposes, for irrigation, that is for farming and that sort of thing, and also leisure. And I don't know if anyone else has any experience or observation of any other negative results from the sand mining. You can put it in the chat, or if you watch this video later on, you can leave a comment below the video. All right. I remember a few years ago in the news, there's a gully further down in my area, and that gully, there's a bridge that enters the community right across that gully. And just a little bit uh, west of the bridge, that's where that gully ends in the river. Now, this gully doesn't have much water like when we were small growing up. There was generally water in there. But when it rains, the flooding is so bad. And I remember when they were building the airport road, you see all those big rocks that you love, like we all love to take those lovely pictures. I don't know whether anyone watches this video in the future. Maybe somewhere in your photo library you have a few pictures on all those big rocks. Where did they come from? Before they took those rocks. You know where they were coming to get rocks to fix airport road? Right over to that gully in that little community in Clarendon. All right, right over. And they thought that the residents would just be a walk over, that they could just come in with the big trucks. And they told them, no, 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 no. What you doing? No one told us. No one asked permission to remove the rocks. When you remove the rocks, right? And there is flooding right under the bridge and right where the general it's like a plateau. The school is there, churches are there, nice houses are there, the bridge is there, the post office is there, the square is there. When you remove those rocks, what is gonna retain the water in the water table? And they told them no, no, no. They blocked the road, they ordered the trucks back, and it was one big protest. And they went to the mayor's office and whatever else they had to do to get them to stop those trucks, whichever the company was. I don't know. I don't know whether it was a private contractor or a government contractor that was repairing, what do you call it? Upgrading Airport Road. But they turned them right back. But in some communities, people really don't care, especially if they can get something from it. You understand? The residents of my community, they didn't care for whether they were going to get work from it and get a few dollars. No, they had the common sense to look further down the line and say, if you remove all them big rocks here from this gully course, it's going to be trouble for us here in this community. So reverse on a truck, pack up on the equipment, and go right back. If a devil send on a come, tell them on a buck up on God. Let me go back to the chat. I see Ter. Welcome, Terina. How are you, my dear? And just touching on a very sensitive topic that affects my community and the island at large, not just Jamaica, but other countries as well. All right, so where was I? Okay. Hey, Mama Simple. Thank you so much for coming in, Tarina. And Terry is saying hello, hello to everyone. Everybody healing up everybody. Soil erosion can cause people to lose their homes. All right. Thank you so much, India. I know that river under the bridge at Mapen Bridge, right, India? Yes, I have some pictures I'm going to show in a bit. Right. So here's another very good result. Well, not very good. That's not a good way of putting it, but that's a very good point. That's what I mean, India. It's a negative result, but it's a very good point. Soil erosion. On the way to Frankfield, there were so many signs. I'm like, I never know of no landslides along those way on the way to Trout Hall before that you had to put up signs about landslides and stuff. Yes, because when the soil is eroded, when you mine out the riverbed, destroy the riverbed, river come down, and there's no embankment to retain it. And the water just keeps swelling and swelling. People who live along the roadside, as I outlined at the start, that from slavery days, that's how our roads were built generally along a river course, right? So people who live in those areas, they can lose their homes very soon. I tell you, I saw some houses on the banking side, as we say it. If those people just stretch too far out their kitchen window or their bathroom window with too much weight, they could tilt those houses right over into the river if when the river comes down. As a gentleman said in the referring to the Treasure Beach, St. Elizabeth land mining, in the video clip I showed, 60 feet below sea level in that case. Or I saw some areas in Upper Clarendon, I'm sure pretty much some 40 feet or so. The river, because you can see where the river was before. You know how if you're from the country, there are certain things your eyes can pick up. You can watch the soil along the embankment and you can see where the level of the river was before, and you can see how far the riverbed has been dug out, right? And they're still mining. There are areas where you can still see the equipment. We saw trucks in some areas. There are some areas you can see the equipment, and in some areas you see all the big stones, like when they sift out the sand and they leave the big stones behind. And it friend says, welcome, welcome. I was in your area. Well, close enough. Illegal mining will affect everyone in the long run. So true, Terror. But as I said before, and this is my disclaimer, whether it is legal or not, is not my concern. That is not the point of this discussion. I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm just touching on something that affects us in our communities and the island as large. And it affects me, it affects my community and me, the Makadruk, so I have to talk about it. All right. Blessings to everyone. Tara in the house. Thank you so much for coming, Tara. It's a valid side effect. True, so true, Terina. I'm glad to know you're doing, Tara. You're doing well, you and your family. Thank you so much for coming. Hi again, Annette. Thanks for coming. Greetings to everyone from Terre. Thank you so much, guys. All right. So those are, I'm going to show you a few clips at this time, just a few. Some I took and some I got off the internet. Just to give you an idea, maybe somebody will watch in future who is not from a, a country like ours and can't really relate to what we're talking about. So just take a look. And this is Rio Minnow. You see how deep it's gone till um, shrubs and everything is growing in the riverbed. That's Yalas River in St. Thomas. That's Hope River, Little River in St. Andrew. See how deep? And this now is in Southeast Asia, Mekong River. That's somewhere else. I just added that one to show you that it's not just a Jamaica problem. So people tend to think that when those of us who use our platforms to address social issues, when we raise certain points that concern our island, people tend to think that we're bashing Jamaica. We're not, and we are not. It would be very nonsensical to even think that these problems only affect Jamaica, but I can't address Asia or South America or Africa or wherever. I don't live there. I don't know anything about those places. It's not my experience. I have to address what affects me. Okay. So there we see some of the, for instance, the ones from Rio Minnow. Those of you who knew that river maybe 30, 40 years ago or more, to the point where, as I said, it's just silt and dirt that's at the bottom of the riverbed in several areas. And it's now springing trees and shrubs, right? So just imagine when rainfall and the river overflows its bank, when the river come down, just imagine the outcome. So I want to thank you all for coming once more. Okay, I'm late. Terina said, no, I just, it's just a short live because I don't have internet. So I have to be wary of the data. So I just wanted to go right into the topic. So I appreciate you all for coming. All right. So what do you think some solutions would be? Because, with Mama Simple, there's no point complaining. I know sometimes of people who complain. I can think of one particular individual who always would call and complain and complain and complain, and I'd say, so you could do such and such, or me, no, I would do such and such, or I've done such and such before, or I know somebody who did such and such and it works, and you'd offer all the solutions and the person would never listen to they won't even pay your listening ear. While you're offering solution, they're still complaining. And in your head, you're saying, but you said that 5 times already. That's the problem. Here are some solutions. Try them. And the person will never try the solution. So that's not the type of person I am. All right? Wherever there are problems, there are solutions. Right? There are solutions. God give us common sense and there are solutions. So I just want to touch on a few of them. Whether they're practical or not, I'm not a technical person, so I don't know. Whether they've been tried before and didn't work, I don't know. But I wouldn't leave this platform by just highlighting problems, and leaving it there. So if you have noticed a few persons type in the chat what their observations have been, if you have any such observation or experience from your area, whether you're Jamaican or not, you can put it in the chat. At the same time, if you have some workable solutions, we'll be happy to have them. So you could put that in the chat at this time, and we're going to look at the solution. Thanks so much for coming. Thanks again, Overton, for that amazing super chat. Remember, you can bless my channel at any time via super chat, or if you'd like to bless my PayPal, the link is in the description of this video or any of my recent videos. Thank you so much. So I'm going to take the chat at this time, and then we'll look at some solutions. I'm just trying to keep it short and to the point so that if anyone comes back to this video in future, it won't be, they won't find it so drawn out and boring or anything. This is not one of my regular type of life where I just talk or where I do fun activities. This is just a pressing concern that I couldn't let go by without addressing it. Sorry. So let me just see. What we're saying down here in the chat. Did I miss? I think I'm seeing some things on my phone that I'm not seeing here. Okay. I thought I saw a comment. It's a valid side effect. Yes, I read that. And Samantha said, thanks for sharing. Thank you so much. You're most welcome, my dear. All right. So I'm going to show you. I showed you the pictures before, right? And we're going to look at some solutions. I have maybe like 2 suggestions. As I say, I don't know how workable they are, but if you have any, you can also type them in the chat at this time. And after this break, we're going to look at some solutions.
Simple things, Outreach Media. Simple things, Outreach Media. Simple things, simple things, simple things. Get your daily dose, fill your cup up to the brim until it overflows. Blessings of God and simple things. Morning worship when you rise. Enrich your lifestyle. Hear words of wisdom. Experience God's love. Only on simple things. Outreach Media. Simple things. Outreach Media. Simple things. Simple things. Simple things. And remember to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell and experience simple things. Outreach Media.
Thank you so much. I just dropped the link. I don't know if anyone would want to come up and share their thoughts on this topic. If you have observed any such thing in your area or anywhere, and if you can add any more negative effects of sand mining. But at this time, also, we're going to look at some solutions. I just have a few solutions to leave with you. If you have any solutions, if anything comes to mind that you'd like to add, you can drop it in the chat, or you can feel free to click the link and come right up. All right. And we look at some solutions. So my first solution, I remember when we were growing up, we used to have, you ever pass by and see these piles of stone, crushed stone at the side of the road, where it would generally be women. They would sit down with their, I don't know, remember what you call that thing. It's a little thing like a hammer, but the head is this way on a little stick. And they'd sit down and crush stones. Hey Tara, that's from India. Everybody hailing up everybody, right? And they'd sit and crush stones. And especially when they were working on the road, and they'd use these crushed stones as aggregate. Aggregate is like construction material, like sand. Generally, the final product, like the fine sand. But they used to pack the roads with these crushed stones first, and then fill it in with the asphalt and stuff. But I notice nowadays, perhaps why these roads get eroded so easily too, is because they're not using the stones. It would seem like it's mainly sand. All right. So one solution to the sand mining, instead of using the sand as aggregate for construction purposes. How about stones? We have some big stones, some in the interior of the island, so in some places that could very well be removed and crushed. I'm sure we have equipment, or we can import equipment that can crush these stones, even if we can't sit down and wait on women to crush them by hand anymore at the rate of how the construction industry is booming, right? So not to go take them out of the gullies like what they wanted to do for repairing Palisado's roadway, because that would be just as bad as the sand mining, as I highlighted before, right? So even if you're going to take them out of the gully, I mean, there are gullies in areas where people don't really live along the gully, right? So that would be better than definitely not under a bridge. Common sense could tell you can't remove the stones from under a bridge. What is going to happen? What is holding the dirt, the soil back? It has to be those huge stones. So, so that is one solution. If you have any other solutions, you can drop it in the chat. Thank you so much for coming. Green Nation is in the building. How have you been, Nation? I am not so much on the platform as often as before, my dear, but every now and then I try to go live. And I'm not in one location most of the time, and I don't have internet most of the time. I only have data. You know that go. So right now I'm doing hotspot, and I hope it holds up long enough. So we're here touching on a very sensitive topic. Sorry you're late, you missed most of it, but you can go back and watch. All right. So we have highlighted the problems. We've looked at some video clips of sand mining across Jamaica, not just Jamaica, but other countries as well. And we have looked at the outcome, the negative impact it has on the communities. And now we're trying to look at the mosquito. Now we're trying to address some solutions, because it might be simple. We don't just go away with our problems. We have to try to find some solution. Hello to everyone in the chat. I noticed that simple things. I'm doing fine here. Keep hustling. All right, bro. Keep hustling. Yes, that's important. And may God bless what you do, as long as you do it to His name's honor and glory. And the work of your hands will always be blessed. You and your family will be blessed. And I pray not just for you, but for everyone on this live stream right now, and who will watch in future, right? So that is one solution. Go back to the crushed stone era. Might take longer, maybe the equipment more expensive. I don't know. The process might seem outmoded, but I'm sure you must have some stone crushing equipment. Not just those women with this big hammerhead looking thing doing it by hand. We used to make money from it. Yes, but I'm sure they have equipment for that now. So that is one solution. Hello, Tara. That's India. And Annette. India says hello, saying hello to you. All those mining is causing many problems in the country, and even the new roads too. Definitely, definitely. But we are short-sighted. We don't look at that. A lot of the new roads, my dear, are built along those same river course, along the roadway runs along the river, the same river what they just mine out, right? How many feet deep? And they use that sand to repair the road, or make the new road right along those gullies and those rivers just the same. Not thinking that when rain season come, what is gonna happen? All right, so that was one solution. And my second solution is the same aggregates that you get from the sand. When you generally, when you pass by these mined out areas, they take the fine sand. They sift them, and they take the fine sand. That is what they carry in the trucks to do the construction. But they leave the larger sandstones behind. So in the same way as I was suggesting the crushed stone thing, like they used to do 30, 40 or more years ago, how about recrushing, getting aggregate from the larger stones that you leave behind. Recrush it. Since you don't mine out the river already, just them heap up piles and piles of big river sand that you leave behind. Are there some equipment that we could import, or do we already have it in the island that could crush those smaller to make the fine sand that you need for the construction then? More than looking for new spots to keep mining. Thanks for coming. Mofat, how you doing? The challenge boss is in the building, in the ads. Thanks so much for watching the ads, guys, without skipping them. Money have to earn, outreach have to do, and a little extra in the pocket from time to time. But oh, it's so minimal sometimes it's not even worth it. Myself, it has been what for the past 2 months, nothing came out. Enough didn't even come out of it for me. Right? So, but I'm not here to run down that. When I ask and when I keep talking about like super chat and stuff, it's for my outreach projects, as you all know. They're well documented on my channel. So I'm being authentic. It's credible, right? So, but I thank you so much anyway for watching the ads, because every little bit adds up. So Nation says that highway in Linstead possess issues for people in part of that area because there once a river that people used to get water from is no longer there because those trees are gone. That's exactly, Nation. So when they were making that highway, when they were mining out the sand, they didn't think about the people in the community, and that's why it bothers me. The Maka joke me said bother me because where my people come from originally, we don't have NWC water, we don't have running water, rainwater, the same river water, or tanks, and it's not everybody can afford tank. You understand? So like the other day when it was raining, fine. Not everybody can find 15,000 or how much ever. Like I think roughly 2,000 per tank or so for the smaller tanks, roughly 4,000 for the larger tank. So if you have 2 tanks or even just one, not many people can afford it. They're hardworking farmers, especially, or people who work out, and students. They can't afford water to buy, and the water they're buying is the same river water. You understand? River water for domestic purpose, and they have treated water for drinking water and cooking. So you have people who sell both, or some people just sell it's the same river water. So we are the truck man that go pump water from to go sell back to people. You understand? When you mine out the river like that. So I have to talk, and I have to talk I use my platform to voice our concern on behalf of those who don't have a platform to do so. Because it affects me, it affects my community where I'm from originally, and it affects the country at large and other countries across the globe. Thanks so much for coming, mixing the challenge boss, and some very nice vlogs as well, guys. Check them out if you haven't yet done so. I'm simply reach back for it. Green screen, bro. Green screen. Big up nation. So Chris Mo, big up nation. And Chris Mo, big up India. Nation say, mixing, big up, bro. No, she's over my house in Jamaica. Boy. No warrior here, nation. Careful there. People in those communities have to be buying water. No, that's not right. That's what I'm saying. No, we have to buy water, but it's the same river water they're buying. So when the river mine out, where they gonna get water from? It's a big problem when there's drought. But it might not be a concern to those who own the permits for the quarries, or for the leaders who are the people giving out these permits. Along that Rio Meno, when we went all the way up to Frankfield, across to Morgan's Pass and back, all the way down to Chapelton Road, almost all the way into Maypen. When you see the number of quarries along the way, and you see the signs and that sort of thing, who who are the leaders who are giving so many permits for people to mine and load off so much sand from the riverbed, the one they get a river, and it's a main river, right? You have arterial rivers and gullies that are normally dry, but arterial rivers are being mined as well in some areas. Green, that house really look nice. Whoa, green screen, my bro, green screen. All right, Green Nation. I'm in the SNMO. It's not my house she's screaming from, bro. Oh, wow. Hello, El Buffet Alive. I know, man. I just give it trouble. I know, right? Many of them don't have a permit. All right, Nation. That topic came up before. That point came up before. But as I said, for me, whether they are legal or not, it's just wrong. It's just too much. So whether they're legal or not, for anyone who listens in future, that's not the point of this discussion. So don't go away saying Mommy Simple or yes, our lady and you two talking about that. Because that's not the point. I don't care whether they have a permit or not. I'm just saying it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Too much mining going on along these rivers. All right. You are speaking out by Clarendon. Yes, more facts. Right, I am. So I'm just gonna let me just run the clip again. Let me go back and run the clip for the pictures that I put together. Some I took myself and some I got from the internet. Welcome, Sharon. How are you? So you see, I even added one from Southeast Asia, Mekong River, just to show because people like to tend to think that we're bashing Jamaica, we're bashing our own island when we highlight problems and try to come up with solutions. That's not the point. And the point is not bashing. Bashing pays no one any good. All right. The point is to highlight a problem that is of concern to many and that is adversely affecting many communities for decades now, for well over 3 decades. And instead of the leaders doing something about it, they're only promoting it because it's getting worse. Because they're granting more permits, more license. There are more quarries now than there has ever been. There are more trucks and sand mining spots along the Rio Mino, for instance, than there is water. And it has been raining for a while I was there. All right. So that is what we're looking at. All right. US, okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome again, Sharon. Okay, blessings to you. More fat. The phone say more fat. Because the money right becomes wrong nowadays. That is it. So nobody's going to address it because who's suffering? It's not the big man suffering. It's not the politicians or the leaders. It's just the small man who can't do any better. Anywhere you turn, Makajuku. You understand? Because if you want to buy the water, if you have 2 tanks or 3, maybe you have animals, you have like 4 tanks. You want to buy the water, you can't buy it either because it's the same river the water coming from. So you can go down there with your donkey, or if you're looking, if you can afford a pickup and you have your pump, which many people over there in my area, for instance, do. They can pump it themselves. The donkey, you can't even fill the kerosene pan or the bucket. And the truck man who sell the water can't get the water to sell either because of the sand mining. All right. Thank you so much, Sharon. Thanks for that. Mixing hello from India. Okay, Mommy, if you are late, I'm not too sure what you were saying there, Juba. Nation say they're not leaders, simple. They are hustlers. And when they have enough, they all leave the country to live. All right. Right. That's so. Right. That's so. Thank you so much, Sharon. Hope all is well with you and yours. Peace and comfort, and may the good Lord cover you all at this time. Right, that's a nation. That is so true. You get, just like what Europe did years ago, well over a century ago, just like what Europe did. take, and then when there's no more, you just pack up and leave. And who is left to suffer? Those who can't do any better. Right. That is so true. Anyway, I'm over our guys. I didn't intend to stay that long. Remember to connect. I'm gonna highlight my suggestions, as I said, my solutions. I mentioned two. I don't know if any of you have any suggestion. You can mention it now for future references. Anyone who comes to this video will realize that we didn't just look at problems, but we also look at solution. Remember to follow me on IG. And if you want to reach out to me for if you have a story to tell, you can also DM me on IG. If you'd like to become a sponsor for any of my projects, you can DM me on IG here. And also super chat is active, but if you'd like to bless this channel, you can also reach out to me on PayPal. My link is in the description of this and other videos. Okay, thank you so much. So we're just to reiterate two suggestions, my two solutions. I don't know how workable they are. I'm not a practical person. I know we live in an age where the speed at which money can be made is far outweighs the costs, meaning what we have to sacrifice to make that money. So I don't know how practical it would be to use crushed stones like they did back in the days when we were making roads. The women would be crushing their stones. I'm sure we have crushed stone equipment these days. Or if not, the second solution is we can make aggregate from the same, like recycle the sand. So all those minor, those heaps and heaps, how many feet high of sand that we see along the river course that is left behind, the big sand, the pebble sized ones. How about recrushing those or whatever? So then we can use that for aggregate instead of just abandoning that spot and mining out a new spot. All right. So I want to thank you all for coming. Juba, who you laughing at? I want to thank you all for coming. In the interest of my data, I'm going to close out. Hopefully, I'll see you again on Friday for another worship live. Sorry if you were looking out last Friday. I had no data, I had no internet. So hopefully this Friday again. I want to thank you for coming in, and I hope that this live stream, this discussion was a voice in the wilderness crying out on behalf of those who have no voice or no platform, or who think they have no voice or no platform on which to voice their choice. And if you visit this in future, leave me a comment below if you see this in your community, if you are concerned, and more so if you have any suggestions, any solutions to the problem. Livingston is just coming in when I am going out, so Livingston will have to rewatch. Livingston, you can replay if you're hearing me, because I'm going to go out now. Thank you so much. All right. So I want to thank you all for coming. Remember to give a thumbs up. Remember, Super Chat is active. You can check out my video week before last, my live stream where I gave an update on my projects. Thanks to you, my STEM fam, we couldn't have done them all without you. Some are still a work in progress, so keep us in your prayers, your genuine prayers. Thank you so much for all you do. Livingston, I was in your backyard. We went all the way down to Southside Turn. What a highway you have behind there, man. That is part of where the sand, all the sand from the river gone. If you ever see the highway from Southside Turn, from New Longsville to Chapelton, I hear that as you pass Beulah, it just stop drop and appear by the road. And as you reach Chapelton and turn past Clarendon College Gate, pure pothole again. So I guess that's where all the sand gone from the river course, from the Rio Minho. So remember to give a thumbs up, guys. Not yet. Hey, Livingston from Sharon will do. Not yet. Not yet. What? That's where all the sand is gone. Thank you all for coming in, guys. Thank you so much for spending your lunch hour with me. It's now 1:48 here in where I am, 2:48 where I should be. And I've been here for an hour and 11 minutes, which is a bit longer than I thought. Oh, in August, I don't know. We're gonna miss each other. We still have to plan that link up when that homecoming, community homecoming, when COVID is over. So thank you all for coming in, guys. If you came in late, you can rewatch, share with someone, because this is the type of live stream that is not just that, it's timeless. All right, it's not just real time, it's timeless. The information is important, the dialogue is important anytime at all. So you can share with someone if you're still coming in. God bless and keep you all. Thanks so much for coming. Remember, simple things love you, but Jesus loves you more. See you on Friday night, God willing.
Simple things, Outreach Media. Simple things, Outreach Media. Simple things, simple things, simple things. Get your daily dose, fill your cup up to the brim until it overflows. Blessings of God and simple things. Morning worship when you rise. Enrich your lifestyle. Hear words of wisdom. Experience God's love. Only on simple things. Outreach Media. Simple things. Outreach Media. Simple things. Simple things. Simple things. And remember to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell and experience simple things. Outreach Media.